Beautiful.
Hello, welcome back to LeEdFollow. Happy 2025, and it's a fresh new year, so I'm excited for getting on with the Project686 project. So, a couple of things that were holding me back before Christmas is, number one, I didn't have a differential for the car, but I've recently picked up this nice little differential. As you can see by what somebody's written on it, this actually came out of GR86, but that's not going to be a problem because differentials on GT86s and GR86s are actually identical. Nothing has changed whatsoever, except that this was a lot cheaper on eBay because people don't know it fits a GT86. In other news, the RX-8 has gone. I know I wanted to learn to drift in it, but after the accident and also picking up the white 86, don't really have the time for that now, so one had to go. Also, in that box there is a Malian 2.75-inch exhaust system. I'll put a little picture up on the screen so you can see what it looks like, but of course I can't fit that until the differential is in, so one thing at a time. But let's take a look at the interior. This is where a bit more work is required. As you can see, I seem to have half a dashboard, no front seats. Rear seats are pretty mouldy, and there is no headlining, but pretty much I've already picked up all the things I need here. So, having removed the two bolts that hold the back of the seat on at the hinges and removing the two bolts that hold the lower half of the seat on at the front, I was able to remove the dirty, stinky, mouldy old seats and then go attack the interior of the car with some good old baby wipes. So my new interior came from a Subaru BRZ. In fact, they came from the blue Subaru BRZ that you may well have seen on the TV show Wheeler Dealers. I actually bought this interior from the guy who owned that car. Oh dear, what are you doing out here? You came round the back to see what Daddy was doing, didn't you? Go on, in you pop. Go on, good boy. Bye-bye now, see you later. Now, cleaning a car is incredibly slow, yet very satisfying and rewarding work. I don't know if it's the same for you guys at home, but whenever I get a second-hand car, the first thing I do is give it a really thorough clean. You just don't know what somebody's done in it. Same goes for the seats. There's no way of sugarcoating it. They've seen a lot of arse over the years, so I like to give them a damn good hoover, especially when they're out the car, because you can get to all those nooks and crannies you just can't get to when they're in place. So all that hard work has now paid off. I've got a fantastic, clean, pristine interior. Looks like it just came out of the dealer yesterday. Dead chuffed with that. Another job to do is replace the knackered old rear view mirror. I don't know what you have to do to get a mirror in this condition, but you can get replacements. They're not too much money, so I'm just going to get one of those in there now. Seeing as I had the rear interior in pieces to hoover it out, I thought I'd take this opportunity to drill a hole and put a reversing camera in. Now we move on to the good stuff. Got to get a face on this car. So I've got this replacement front bumper here, and I need to pop out the covers for the indicators and the fog lights. I'm not putting fog lights back because I'm going to use the gaps for air cooling ducts, but I've got these indicators, just need to pop those in first. Now, before I can put the front bumper on, I need to put a crash bar on. I got this red one cheap off eBay. Yes, I could probably paint it white at some point. I'll do that in the future, but for now, I just want to get everything assembled and then I can see which parts I'm missing. Now, with the crash bar fitted and all done up nice and tight, we got to move on to the front tray. Now, this isn't under tray for the engine. This is actually a tray that sits between the bumper and the front of the radiator, and it diverts air into the right place for cooling. It comes in two pieces. You've got an upper solid piece, which you can like mount oil coolers to. Under that, you've got a much more flimsier kind of air guide piece. These two just go on with some push clips and a couple of bolts, nice and easy. The headlight brackets go on next. These take the weight of the headlights, and then after you've put those on, the headlights can go in. Everything's held in with little plastic bits and 10mm bolts. Now we can finally get the front bumper on, attach it with all the little plastic clips from the top and the bottom, and then put finally the weather strip on, which has the rubber seal so you don't get a lot of water going in above your bumper and under your bonnet. So since I got this new GT86, I've been going over it, looking for all the common issues that GT86 have. And let me share some of those with you. So something that I've never actually mentioned in previous GT86 videos, just basically because my orange one is in a very good condition, but this one has a bit of surface rust under the battery tray. This isn't too bad, actually. I mean, you can see the actual metal is solid. I've put some rust eater on that, and it's sorted out a trick. This brown stuff is not actually rust. This is actually the rust eater that I've yet to clean off. So I've got myself some little brushes. I've got some WD-40 and some kitchen roll. So I just need to scrub all that back and clean it all out. And this is the stuff that I'm using. This is left over from when I was doing all the rust on the MR2, and this stuff is hardcore. This is what the garages use. So all you do is you get a brush, and once you've worked all of the surface rust off with a wire brush, you just slather this on. You can't really put enough of this on. And then you leave it for as long as you can. Literally, the longer you leave this on, the better it works. So you just got to put it on, wait as long as you can, scrub it off, reapply if necessary. And then once it's all gone, you wipe it away, you're ready for paint. Okay, all cleaned up, ready for painting. I've just got some cheap eBay paints here. I don't think this was a lot of money, just a ground coat and a mid coat. So I'll throw that on now.
Several days later.
All painted up, ready for the top coat, and then the battery can go back. Now this car actually came with some OEM optional mud flaps fitted to the car, but two problems with these. Number one, as you can see, over time they've rubbed, they've taken the paint off, which means I'd have to get the wing repainted. The other thing is that I was missing one had fallen off of the car. Before going and putting the new ones on, I'm going to put some touch-up paint in there, and then I've got a solution so that they don't rub the paint off again in the future. Now, you can't buy these mud flaps individually. However, a brand new set of 4 direct from Toyota are only £53 delivered. Top buy. So here's the side that I put the touch-up paint on, and yes, it looks awful, but we've got these. These are some cheap eBay kind of like gel coat stickers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one over there before I put the new mud flap on, and then in the future it's going to rub against this instead of the bodywork. So little self-adhesive pads, you can see how thick they are, and they are roughly the right size to go over that damage. Okay, lovely. Now to put the mud flap on. Job done. Now I just got to do the same on the other side, and then I can move on to the next job. Now I know that the flat 6 isn't in yet, but I've got these really cool custom made flat 6 stickers from a chap on Redbubble, and I had to get some for this car. So today I'm going to put one on, and in the same way I've got the Cosworth badge located here on my orange 86, I'm going to have a flat 6 badge here. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Well, that engine has to go in now because the sticker says so. So on the last video, I don't know if I mentioned that I now have a clutch and a flywheel for this car. Got these off eBay, barely used, came out of a turboed car that was done for a customer that they didn't pay up, I believe. Brand new pressure plate with clutch disc. In the box below, there is a lightened flywheel, all able to go straight onto this gearbox. And then, with a small amount of modification, the gearbox will fit the back of this engine, but that's for another video. Okay, one job that I need to do today is fit this rear shelf, which has got the high level rear brake light. The one in the car doesn't have the high level rear brake light. I don't know what happened to it, but I want it there because it is a good safety device, especially when you're on track. You have a much brighter, higher level brake. Good idea to have it. So the rear shelf is held in with some plastic clips that go along behind the back of the seat. There are some more plastic clips below. You can't really see them, but they pop in from below, so it clips in that way and that way. So I've started removing them. Let's get this sucker out. Okay, it's in, and that was actually a lot harder than it should have been. So I just need to put the 4 plastic clips back in, and then that job is done. And that's me done for the day. On the next video, in goes the diff, the rear shafts, the prop and the exhaust system. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe if you're not already doing so. And also, if you have a moment and you like our road trip videos like we did in Colorado, then you may want to click the link in the description below and head to my new channel, Road Adventures. No more working on cars or anything. This is purely road trips. And yes, there isn't any video up there yet, but if you subscribe now, you'll be there from the beginning when this channel actually kicks off this summer. But don't worry, because LeEdFollow is going nowhere. I'm very keen to get on with this Flat 686 project, and then who knows, I've got some ideas for the next projects after that. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.